December 1972. The skies above Vietnam had become a battlefield of fire, steel, and electronic warfare.
High above the chaos, the B-52 Stratofortress ruled the night. Protected by advanced technology, the bombers carried powerful electronic warfare systems.
Their jammers created an electronic fog that blinded enemy radar.
Missiles climbed into the sky, searching for targets hidden behind the interference. But one interceptor was preparing to enter that fog.
The pilot was 27-year-old. His mission was simple in theory and nearly impossible in practice.
He was ordered to find a bomber hidden inside the electronic fog. Tonight, the skies over Son La would witness one of the most disputed aerial engagements of the Cold War. A battle where technology, instinct, and survival collided.
Today, we reconstruct the final flight of Vu Xuan Thieu.
To understand the encounter, we must first understand the machines.
The B-52 was designed for overwhelming strategic destruction. Escort fighters and electronic countermeasures shielded it from attack. Its jamming systems made targeting extremely difficult.
The MiG-21 was the opposite.
Small, fast, and agile.
But it suffered from one critical weakness.
Visibility was terrible.
At night, the pilot depended almost entirely on ground control.
Tiếp tục hướng 270, tăng độ cao.
Until visual contact, he was effectively flying blind.
The challenge was to locate a black bomber in a black sky.
The contrast between the aircraft was extreme.
One represented industrial military power.
The other depended on a single pilot's skill and courage.
To attack the bomber, Thieu would have to fly directly into the electronic fog.
Inside that fog, mistakes could be fatal. Ahead lay the most dangerous phase of the mission.
For military analysts, one question remains unavoidable. Why risk a valuable pilot and aircraft against a single bomber? Because a B-52 was not just an airplane. It was a strategic weapon. A single payload could devastate entire city blocks in seconds.
Its impact was measured not only in explosives, but in fear. Every Vietnamese fighter pilot represented years of training and sacrifice.
These men mastered complex aviation systems in a foreign language. Their education required enormous effort and international support. The aircraft themselves were equally precious. Keeping a MiG-21 operational demanded a constant flow of resources. Yet in the mathematics of war, stopping a bomber could justify extraordinary risks.
The equation was brutal, but simple.
One interceptor against a machine capable of delivering 30 tons of explosives.
For pilots like Thieu, the stakes could not have been higher.
On the night of December 28th, the mission began.
9:45 p.m. Heavy breathing echoed inside the cockpit. The instrument panel provided the only light.
Thieu, tiếp tục hướng 285. Mục tiêu phía trước.
The radar picture was nearly useless. American jammers flooded the airwaves with interference. Thieu pushed forward despite the uncertainty.
Targets emerged and vanished inside the electronic fog.
The night offered almost no visual references. Speed became his greatest ally.
But he was not alone in the sky.
Possible interceptor contact.
The escort fighters moved to intercept.
Then the warnings began.
He had been detected.
Two American fighters were now moving into position. The hunt had become a chase.
The warning receivers erupted. The escorts had found him.
Two Phantom fighters moved in for the kill.
At these speeds, a single mistake would be fatal.
But turning back would end the mission. Thieu reacted instantly.
The interceptor entered a brutal high-G maneuver. The maneuver forced the pursuers to overshoot.
The sky became a blind dance of speed and instinct.
For a brief moment, a path opened.
Tiếp tục. Mục tiêu phía trước.
Thieu pushed the engine to its limits.
Then something changed. A shadow appeared in the darkness. It was the bomber.
The targeting system fought to acquire a lock. The distance was closing rapidly.
Every second now mattered.
Thieu committed to the attack. The missiles left the rails. They streaked toward the target.
Then the sky exploded with countermeasures.
The lock was broken.
The outcome remained unclear.
One fact was undeniable. The missiles were gone.
Yet the engagement was not over.
Thieu, báo cáo tình hình.
No one knows exactly what happened inside the cockpit during those final seconds.
Ground controllers watched the signals merge. Then a brilliant fireball lit up the night sky.
Moments later, both returns vanished.
Debris rained into the darkness below. What happened next would become a matter of debate.
According to U.S. Air Force records, most B-52 losses during Linebacker II were attributed to surface-to-air missiles.
Many Western analysts point to missile defenses as the primary threat.
Vietnamese accounts describe a different possibility. Some accounts suggest the engagement reached point-blank range. The exact sequence remains disputed. By dawn, the battle was over.
Vu Xuan Thieu never returned from the mission.
His story spread throughout the Air Force and beyond.
Whether the result was deliberate sacrifice, combat damage, or the chaos of close-range night combat, the story endures.
It reminds us that in the skies above Vietnam, technology alone did not decide the outcome. Young men on both sides were pushed to the absolute limits of their machines, their training, and their courage. While historians continue to debate the exact details of the engagement, Vu Xuan Thieu remains a symbol of courage, sacrifice, and the determination to defend the skies of Vietnam.